Hi Sagittarius, welcome back to your monthly tarot reading with me. I'm Ashley Rose and this is your monthly tarot reading for April 2022. This reading is for all Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So anytime throughout this month, throughout this year, you feel drawn, called, pulled to listen to this video, there is a message in it for you and I'm so happy to be here for you today. To deliver it. We start this month off with a new moon in Aries and I'm really excited about it. I feel like it really comes to kind of light a fire again and really ignite this motivation and this, enthusiasm for what we're doing and refocus or help us recenter and refocus on what we're really doing. Sorry, I'm really moving around. But because the last, I feel like week and a half of March was really funky. And I feel like before we could access this potential and this energy, we really had to dig down deep and really figure out and see externally what was in our way, what was blocking us, what expectations were we holding on to, what ways were we trying to control our desires and control our circumstances and situations, and really just kind of lay it all out there so that when we got to this new moon and even into April, we could kind of have everything laid out for us. And it helps us really recenter and refocus again on what we really want. Because with a new moon, it's the start of a new lunar cycle. And it's a great time to reflect on what's been happening in the last month, in the last lunar cycle, and then set new intentions for what you want to get done this next month, right? And so they usually fall around the first of the month. And I kind of really love that because it really is like a reset for the month. Okay, let's look back. What worked last month? What didn't? Where was I stuck? How am I going to move forward? And again, this Aries new moon helps to give us that energy, that drive to reset on where we were again, focusing and what really matters to us, what our passions are, and what we want to do so that, we can finally start making the strides towards those endeavors and towards the things that are really exciting us. I mean, Aries season is a fun time for fun time for Sagittarius, other fire signs, because you're just in your element, right? This is compatible with you. You're like, yes, I see the adventure. Yes, I want to try new things. And I feel like it's really helping us, again, get up off the ground after we had, Aquarius season and Pisces season came to really make us think about things, right? Really go internal, really connect, really dive deep into what we want, what we're doing, and again, what isn't working and what's standing in front of us. This new moon also is helping us really free ourselves from our fears, and instead of being lost and drowned out by them, we see them, acknowledge them, moving through them. Pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. It's really helping us to push us out of whatever rut, whatever situation, experience that we're in right now that just, again, isn't working, isn't serving. And then we come into the full moon. Ooh, pardon me. We have a full moon in Libra that happens April 16th. And that's really exciting because, again, it's illuminating all of these things within us, and it's illuminating and showing us where we need to instill the balance. Right now that we have created a new space and we're going after the things that we want and we're using our energy, we may be getting a little too ahead of ourselves and kind of maybe feeling a little overwhelmed, a little overstimulated with all the new things that are going on. But we're trying things. It feels like a trial and error period where we're sifting and sorting through, okay, I'm going to try this hobby. I'm going to try this new way of operating my business. Okay, this worked. This didn't work. Sift and sort, right? And so then this full moon comes to illuminate where we need to find balance, where we need to bring some justice back into some places in our life, some areas, and really, again, focus ourselves on that. Big theme this year. Big theme is balance. And so it's no surprise that, again, we're reminded in a bigger way that balance is going to be super important to achieving the goals that we have for ourselves. We can no longer move forward operating in the way that we used to, right? And just moving forward, not thinking about things, not putting our body first, not prioritizing our mental health, not connecting to ourselves on a deeper level. You don't have to be spiritual, but it's important to have conversations with yourself and listen and map out what you want and think realistically and intentionally, am I doing those things or am I just going through the motions? Am I allowing myself to just kind of be this cog in the wheel? And 1, 2. Sorry. And ultimately, again, those things are illuminated, or that those things are being brought to light. And then we even have with it showing us and showcasing the beauty and the talents that we have, right? Because Libras are about beauty and the finer things in life as well, and really feeling the love and that connection to those as well. And it's really going to help us see the beauty that we have in our life, see the beauty that we have in ourselves, and even the beauty that we are allowing to hide in the back, because we might be scared or afraid of what other people might say when we allow that side of ourselves to be expressed. But like my shirt says, don't waste time not being you. That's why these things are happening, that is helping us balance out, so that that side that we haven't been accessing, this expression of creativity we're cutting off, can come out, so we can authentically be ourselves in a new way that we haven't before, that we haven't really felt comfortable to express. But as we step in and move through this month, we're going to feel ourselves come out of that shell a lot more comfortably than we used to before, or have a lot more support and stability to do that, because we've created the balance from within. So that allows us to step out and do the things that we want to do. Then we move into Taurus season at the end of this month. And I mean, it's really going to help, again, just kind of like this full moon came to help us balance back down and ground down. That's what this Taurus season is going to be: connecting with nature, connecting with yourself, finding that moment to ground yourself down and connect again to what you really want, so that you can keep yourself like eyes on the prize, right? Or we can start building environments and spaces within ourselves and externally that make us feel comfortable, that make us feel safe, and that make us feel secure, because we've gone on this journey of, again, sifting and sorting through the things that we want and the things that we don't want. And now we have a pretty good idea what they are. So we can take a step back and start cultivating a space that we feel comfortable in, to allow those ideas to keep growing and to keep blooming, right? Like, this is tending to our garden now that we've planted the seeds. That's what I feel like Aries season is. We're planting the seeds. We're figuring out what flowers we want, what we want to plant, how we want our garden to look. And then Taurus season is taking a step back and gardening those things, tending to it, allowing these ideas to grow instead of just cutting them off, right? Allowing your talents to really take up space and make something of themselves, than to just kind of hold on to them and not do anything with them. Taurus also really enjoy the finer things in life, enjoy the beauty. So we're going to be feeling that too, and finding the beauty that we are creating when we allow these things to have space to grow, when we trust in what we're doing, and we allow our authentic nature, our authentic light to kind of shine down and be the light that grows these things around us, right? I feel like that was maybe a stretch, but I feel like you got me there. And at the end of the month, the very last day, we have a Taurus new moon. So again, it's just coming to help us recharge, reconnect, and ground back down and into what we want. It's in a moment to reset and really think about what we did at the beginning of the month, where we are now, and how we can bring in some more peace, more understanding, more beauty to what we're doing, and allow our inner beauty to really come out, to make an environment that feels stable, that feels secure for, again, ourselves to come, because we're no longer wasting time not being us. And that is super important. We just can't operate any longer on our old ways. Okay, Sag. It's gonna be pushing you this month a little bit, I'm gonna say. Because there's gonna be some moments and some things that are really gonna be pushing you to just trust what you're doing, and you need to get out of your head. Like, because there's so much going on, there's so much energy, you're so excited that there is a fear within you somewhere that's going to want to keep it all close and keep yourself closed up, because which is, I feel like, very interesting for Sag, because like, as a Sag moon, I mean, very interesting that we want to close ourselves back up, and we're so explorative, and we want adventure, and we want to try new things. So let's dive into it. We start this month off with the Two of Cups and the Devil. And what I want to say about that is, like, it feels like opposites attract right here. It's like, yes, amazing. We have this relationship coming in. It's supporting me. It's showing me where I want to go. It is like my opposite. It's like yin to my yang. But we got to get out of our heads a little bit. It's either like we need to get out of our heads because we're stopping ourselves from seeing a bigger picture, or there's a relationship coming in that's here to teach us a lesson and is going to get us focused on things that kind of derail our attention, right? Because we have the devil here and he's sitting there. He's not holding on to anybody. He's not forcing anybody to be here. Everybody's there on their own free will. But it's your choice, your opportunity to take those chains off of you and to move out, to get out of your ego. So I feel like it's also somebody coming towards you so that you guys can kind of go on this path of like spiritual enlightenment almost, to really, again, connect into who you are and to move through this ego. It's somebody that supports you and that wants to, I feel like, hold your hand as you make this transition through. So this could be platonic, this could be romantic, this could be you know, going towards a spirit, connecting with the spiritual mentor, and really confronting these fears that you have, these things that are holding you back, and making the decision to move forward. Because I really do feel like it's this energy here that's helping you heal. That's what this symbol is here, is like a healing symbol. And then we have this angel above you. So you're protected as you're going through this, as you kind of go down through the darkness. And it's like sometimes you have to go into these dark places to see the light, but this feels like not as scary as it would be because you have somebody there that supports you and values you and is willing to go on that journey with you, because again, they see what you have to offer. They know that you're not going to get stuck there, and it really is to push you, to strengthen you, and to free you from, again, these expectations, these thoughts, these beliefs, these, limits that we've put on ourselves. And when we do that and we go through it together, we got ourselves here to the Five of Wands. And I love it because this way, and it's in reverse. And this way, this is talking about trivial conflict. This is schoolboys in the yard at recess, playing sticks, playing soldiers, knights. They're trying to show each other who's stronger, prove who's more talented, prove who could win all the fights, right? They're like, it's fun and it's lighthearted, but there is some competition there and some conflict of trying to prove yourself. But with it being in reverse, we're freeing ourselves from the need to prove ourselves, and that's what the devil was also kind of doing here. And even within our relationship, I feel like that's something that we're going to feel, is this push to release that you have to prove you're a good partner, you have to prove that you're worth it, or you have to prove that you're lovable, you have to prove that you're good enough to have this relationship. You are. Stop fighting that fight. That's like a trivial conflict thing that you're going through. You are talented, you have strengths, you are lovable, you are enough, and you can use your creativity to soothe anything that pops up that tries to derail you from what you really are going towards and what really what I feel like you're passionate. I want to say what you're passionate about, but I feel that what not even just passions as jobs and hobbies, but just your love for life, your love for adventure, your love for your relationships around you, your love for freedom. I mean, you're a Sagittarius, so your freedom is important. You are free spirits and you need that. And so maybe these last couple months we've been feeling constricted and boxed in, and we have the opportunity within April to really free ourselves and get back in touch with our energy and take the risk to make the change towards what we really want, the relationships in our lives, our connection. Because with this here, 2 is the number for balance, connection, and it's the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. And the High Priestess isn't scared of her ideas. She isn't scared of her passions. She leads with no fear and trusts in her intuition and allows that internal guidance system to lead her through anything that pops up or any darkness that tries to derail her from making that move forward. Because in the middle of our reading, we have the Queen of Cups. And you could say she's she is the High Priestess, right? She sees the beauty that's within herself. She listens to her intuition. She's connected consciously. She's aware of her emotions and how they can translate and transform her environment around her. She nourishes herself physically. She nourishes herself spiritually. And a big thing for you this month, especially because it's in the middle of your reading, is to connect to that spiritual side of you. That's what's going to move you through here. And even this is helping you get to this place of experience, of enlightenment, of understanding your emotions and being really emotionally mature about the things that you're going on. Again, being emotionally conscious of how these things have affected you so that you can make this move forward. It feels like, again, a yin and yang of like we're activating our passions and our drive and our motivation and what excites us, but then we're also, getting in touch with our connection. We're kind of balancing them together while we're listening to our intuition to show us where we want to go, and then harnessing our energy to make make the right movements forward. She's sitting here on a solid throne. So you are solid, you are stable. You have nothing to worry about or where you're going because you are exactly where you need to be. There is stability here, and you have experience that can help you move forward. So it's important to tap into that. And again, balance yourself in moments when we're feeling a little unbalanced or a little uneasy. We have the Seven of Cups after in reverse, and this is like having our eyes on the prize and knowing exactly what we're going after. The Seven of Cups this way is like having so many options, so many dreams, so many ideas. We don't really know which one we want to go after. Everything's kind of just in front of us and we're feeling a little confused, a little overwhelmed. Could even be on the side of like escaping into our dreams instead of actually going after them. But with it being in reverse, because we've connected to ourselves in a deeper way, we allow our true goal, our true dream to kind of show its face. And I feel like that's the cup that she's holding in her hand to be like, okay, this is what I want to go after. This is the beauty within me. This is the strength that I have yet to show people. And this is what I have to offer the world. And it really is seeing yourself in that light and soothing. Again, 7 is the number for mind and creativity. So soothing any thoughts that kind of come up to distract us from that creativity. Because the Queen of Cups, she's water sign. She's creative. She's imaginative, she's intuitive, she allows all those things together to build something that really inspires her, right? And inspires other people. And being a fire sign, you are pure creative energy. So harness these two together and really bring this dream to light, because your manifestations are coming in this month. It's just what you're allowing to manifest physically is going to be, how much work you're willing to do on the inside. There's a lot of internal to external transformation that's happening this month, across all the signs, because we're getting back in tuned. It's like a light bulb goes on and we like wake up, like, where have we been this whole time? It's like, I feel like an awakening of sorts this month. And even to go off of that, we have the 8 of Swords here. And it is kind of just that, like she is stuck out here. We're like, we have these dreams, and then I don't know, something happens. Maybe this is I feel like this full moon coming in to kind of illuminate these things, and you're like, ah! And so you're like, I'm just gonna go hide. I'm just gonna take an adventure out here into the desert, and we're just gonna tie myself up, keep myself really safe, and protect myself with all these swords around me. The problem with that is that you're by yourself, and being a Sagittarius, it's really, connection is super important to you, and you have the strength to work through this. Again, you have the experience. You've been here before. You are the Queen of Cups, so you've worked through these emotions. Now it's time to kind of use your intuition, because there's this water right here, to discern what these thoughts are. Are they something to even be listening to? Sometimes thoughts are just thoughts, and we need to let them go as quickly as they come in. But with this being the number 8, we have the strength to really work through these things that are popping up, really work through the ideas that are trying to stop us or deter us. And even talking about the devil, sometimes when our fears pop up again, that is indication that we're going in the right direction, because we're now activating an unknown and uncertain future, and our ego likes to keep us in the predictable, in the certain, because that's where we know that's a reality that we can control. And when we're finally operating from, trust and faith in our desires and our talents and what we have to offer the world, then that is an uncertainty that our ego doesn't really like to. And to say ego, it's not like something that is bad and it's here and it's terrible. We all have it, and it's actually here to protect us. That's what it's designed to do. And this month, I feel like you're learning how to, balance both of those within you and listen to your higher self as well as your ego, and make the right discernment and the right choices to move forward. Because once you free yourself from these fears that have been kind of standing in your way and blocking you, and maybe you got rid of some of them in the beginning, but we can't hide from them any longer. Again, we don't have time now. We have no time to waste not being ourselves. And you drop these things, we go into the Two of Wands, and we allow ourselves to be open and vulnerable again to what we can really create in the world. We allow ourselves to tap into our creativity again, where we understand and see that we have the world in our hands, right? Like behind here, the kingdom is so close. It's literally right behind you, and you're like choosing not to take part in it. You're choosing to keep yourself away from it. And when we kind of wake up from that dream, that funk or whatever it is, we are at the top of the castle and we're like, oh my god, I am Alexander the Great, how did I get up here? No, but we know how we got up there. Experience and trial and error and sifting and sorting through what we want and what we don't want. And we brought ourselves to this new beginning where we can look out and we're like, okay, do I want to move? Do I want to travel? Do I want to build new relationships? Am I ready to go on a new adventure, a new journey? Ultimately, I believe you say yes. And again, like how we start through the month off with a connection, we end the month with a connection. And I feel like stronger connections within ourselves, or maybe we were focusing too much on our relationships and not a lot on ourself and the internal relationship. And we feel that shift this month. As you're like holding the world in your hand, it's like literally your oyster, and you give yourself the space to birth your ideas and create what you see for yourself. This is a doorway, so it's time to walk through it. We're being called and asked to walk towards what we really want, and that is found within our creativity and in our desires. And I'm saying that because he's wearing orange and red, and so that's what those colors symbolize. And even here at the bottom, look at all this fiery energy. And here you are, King of Wands. You're hiding. You're under there though, but you're hiding under this trust and under these boundaries you've been setting. That's kind of time to let go of, because I feel like you're just fighting yourself. There's no need to fight yourself. Just do it. That's a distraction. Give yourself the permission to release that and just go after it, because it's time to change that perspective. And just go on that adventure. And I feel like sometimes some of our adventurous energy to always be trying new things is like us escaping from taking care of what we need to do. And the universe's and spirit cards are asking you to show up in a different way this month. And then we have, for our oracle card, we have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yes. Even here we have 2, and I feel like this applies, and even this, it is devotion. You are showing yourself that you are devoted to your desires and what you want, your creativity and your energy. And it is tuning into your heart, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, because look at here, she's closed up. Her heart is not open, and she does not want anything to come in and penetrate and to have her be vulnerable. But invulnerability is one of the most beautiful places for us to really open up and see things from a bigger place, a bigger perspective. So I'm going to read that really quick. Inner temple too. I feel like that is just, talking about, meditating, connecting to your body, connecting to your spirit, allowing, these things to come out naturally instead of forcefully. So we have inner temple. You are being called to be a devoted student and tune into your heart, which I feel like is very aligned with our last couple months of reading, because I feel like you got the Hierophant there for a little bit. And, that was just talking about being a teacher, being a student, sharing your spiritual experiences and allowing that to create and cultivate something. So you could also be on this path, but now you're feeling a little scared because you're going through some type of spiritual transformation as well. But open up to it. Don't close off to it. Use the words that you've given to others to help teach you on this path as well. Okay, back to what the reading said. To incorporate true devotion into your life, you are being called to develop a regular meditation, journaling, or chanting practice, or to show up with your soul with rhythm. To develop a daily practice where you fill up your well and spend time with your soul. All of your answers to the questions that you are seeking are waiting for you in the portal of your heart, but you cannot hear them unless you carve out time each day to listen. Your soul is yearning for a deeper relationship with you, and so the more time you spend with it and show up to it, the more clearly it will guide you. We are here to grow as souls. Each is one big playground for the soul to learn, and you are being called to go deeper in your soul growth or to increase your devotion by being a student of lineage or a spiritual teacher. You have already been a committed student, and then you are being condemned for your devotion. Your guides want you to know how proud of you they are and that the time you spend in devotion is priceless. If you are questioning your career or life path, your guides want you to turn your focus toward devotion in this prayer. Please use me in a way that delights my mind, body, and soul. May my life be one big moving prayer. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Even with this Queen of Cups being right here in the middle, she's a spiritual teacher. The High Priestess is a spiritual teacher, right? And we're doing that. We know what our calling is. We know what we're here to do. So, embrace these moments of insecurity, of vulnerability, and allow them to really transform you and to find and learn something, or find a lesson and learn a lesson through them. I think that's really beautiful, or even like that just really related. Okay, so let's get into our love reading. We have finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. 4 of Wands. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. We have the Moon. And then we have religious factors. Your love life is being influenced by a religious upbringing and spiritual path. The 6 of Swords. So I feel like you're moving towards, with this 4 of Wands, I feel like you're moving towards a place where you can celebrate and there is, some type of coming together with others. But the way these cards feel, it doesn't really feel like your love life is a big focus this month because you're working on so many things internally. It would be hard for you to, do both at the same time. Not to say that if you're in a relationship or you meet somebody that they're not going to go anywhere or your relationship's going to feel stagnant. It's that, you're taking the time and devoting the space to really connect to yourself in a deeper way, and that's what needs to be the most important. And we have the Moon here. Stay optimistic about your love life, and I feel like it really just is like illuminating. Again, the Moon is about fears, and this picture looks a little scary, so it's like we are a little nervous, I feel, about things like in our love life right now, and we're learning how to, again, be vulnerable and open up, and we're moving ourselves to clear water. And I feel like that's what that's what the 6 of Swords is also, wanting to talk about, and, just giving ourselves the opportunity to clear up some of these things that are just kind of clouding our judgment and clouding our minds, right? And then I feel like this totally relates to this 2 of Cups and this Devil over here. And even at the bottom of our love reading, we have the 8 of Swords. And so that's something too, we're also kind of clearing up, and we got to work through some of those traumas, some of that heartbreak, some of that grief, so that we can have that relationship in our life that is healthy, that is beneficial, that is supportive, that helps us grow, that pushes us to, really get outside of these binds that we've been tying ourselves up in. So let's get into our affirmation. If you'd like to know more about me, what I have going on, or you would like to book a tarot reading, you can go to ashleyrose.com. You can follow me on Instagram as well. It's Ashley Rose Tarot. Like, share, comment on this video. Let me know what else you'd like me to do, and subscribe to my channel because I love having you guys here. Our affirmation is true manifestations are powered by service and love. Yes. You got to give yourself some love. You got to give your manifestation some love and prove and devote this service to yourself, because you can only be a service to others when you're a service to yourself first, and you fill up your cup. You fill up your well. You can only give from a full cup, because if you give from a half empty one, then after you give, you have nothing left for yourself, right? And that's no help for anybody else. So get in touch with your love. And the energy that excites you, allow yourself to be open, and just, go with the flow this month, honestly. So I love you guys. I hope you have a good April. I can't wait to see how everything unfolds for you, and I will see you later in the daily tarot readings.